Hey everyone, PB at Kotaku here. It's been a little over 2 weeks since Ross implemented the insane price jumps for the Sonic, Mario, and Dragon Ball Super action figures. I'm sure many of you know that I'm 2 weeks behind on uploading my toy bargain hunting outings. So that means... Before that, if you enjoy the content, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and sub to the channel. Patreon's down low. The fireworks are almost here, and don't let that stupid turd squirrel Ione enjoy them. She doesn't deserve it. Just smack her stupid RBF head with your trusty net. That's a better time than watching any sort of fireworks. With that out of the way, onto the hunt. That's right everyone, this is the outing where I discovered Ross implemented the dreaded dick sucker prices on the Sonic, Mario, and Dragon Ball Super action figures. We'll get more into that when the time approaches, but for now, we'll focus on what's in front of us. Got some more Play-Doh. Geez, that's a creepy pair of twin baby dolls. Even more creepy baby dolls. I wonder how that stuff's able to sell. Oh, there's our boy and anime heroes Renji Abarai action figure. Let's keep going down the aisle. Looks like there's some more hold on, I saw something familiar. A best action TMNT action figure of Jenica for 10 clams. These were at Ross for a minute, disappeared, and made their way back. Now we can move on. There's lots of pink and lots of dolls, so this stuff is definitely not for me. Let's see if my friend is still around. Hey, hi C, how you doing? Oh, it looks like you're having a good time, but couldn't you get a room? Oh, hello. And you are? Hi C? Hold up, I got a question here. What, are all of you like Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy from Pokemon? Who are they? You know what? It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'll see you both later, okay? Moving on to more pressing matters, we got more creepy baby dolls, and a lone Sonic the Hedgehog plushie. I'm pretty sure I've seen this at Five Below before. Kinda sucks to see the security tags placed directly into the plushie. That means they're gonna have a nice, noticeable hole in them. $3 for a mini-sized Star Wars figurine seems pretty good in my opinion. Did anyone like Wicket? Yes? No? It looks like that Glitter and Glamour's Ram is still here. If you got Amazon Prime, she's cheaper to buy there. She'll cost you less than $10 as opposed to 1,500 pennies at Ross. Up next are the Funko Pop figures. Nothing new here unfortunately. It's been really slow for the Funko Pop figures. New stuff used to appear all the time, but now it's few and far between. I guess someone changed their mind on those Hello Kitty seat covers. What's that back there? Nothing important. I'm pretty sure I bought this flower-style Belle Posket figure sometime last year, but I get the feeling I returned her. I would check to confirm, but another time. Back to the shelf she goes. Up next we got some familiar items, the 4-inch scale Simpsons action figures by Jakks Pacific. We got the whole wave here, but it turns out the price went up $1. They were $8 just a few weeks ago, now they're $9. Looking back, maybe that was some kind of foreshadowing for the impending discovery. Damn, this area was an absolute mess, but it's where I saw the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken ×10 Goku action figure. I believe this was my first time ever seeing this, and I thought it looked quite cool. I assumed it was $15 despite turning the label towards me, and that's what happens when you're distracted. Just above, there is another Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken ×10 Goku next to Jiren, and to the left were some Wave 19 4-inch Sonic the Hedgehog action figures by Jakks Pacific. Even though I have all these, it was still cool to see, and even further to the left was Dr. Eggman. Wait for it. This was the moment I discovered the sucker prices that Ross implemented. These were $6 or maybe even $7 each before, and they bumped up the price to 15 clams, more than double the price. It was quite a shock to see, and I could immediately tell those were above what's charged at normal retail stores like Target and Walmart. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. A discount store charging more than regular retail stores. At this point, I started checking the prices on the other merch. The first things I went to were the anime figures. That Celestial VV Ram still had a $15 price tag. I was expecting to see $20. The price tag on this Soft Buy Mates Endeavor figure was untouched. Then I realized that I didn't actually look at the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken ×10 Goku action figures price tag, and I was hit with this. What the hell is this? $27? That's an 80% price increase. The Dragon Stars action figures can't even move at $15, so increasing them to $27 basically guarantees these will stay on shelves indefinitely. I was even more shocked at this point, and I noticed these absurd price tags were placed on merch that I didn't see during the previous outing. I wanted to check if I could see the price tags on Dragon Star's action figures that had been sitting on the shelves for a while, but I didn't find one at this store. After editing and reviewing the footage, there were actually a few, but I was in such a daze, I just left for the next stop, Burlington. Yeah, that was a crappy thing to see, but let's switch back to the more upbeat music rather than the music that plays when we get pwned. This Flex Changer's Nightbird Transformer is still here and shows zero signs of moving. Burlington has to cut the price on that thing already. It looks like Burlington restocked the Super Soakers. I don't remember seeing that many during the previous outing. Nothing really happening at the plushie section. It's quite empty. A lot of the same stuff is still here. Let's move on to the so-called main event area. That's been looking more and more barren as the weeks pass. Seriously, there's not much going on here, but we got some Transformers Earthspark Terran Jawbreaker action figures for 60 dimes. This line of Transformers are 10 dimes less at Ross, so I'll wait for this to show up there. And we got another Transformer, a Transformers 1 Robot Battler Starscream for 8 clams. Too much for my liking for a Transformer of this size. I'll wait and see if this appears at Ross for a better price as well. I don't think there's much else to go over. Yeah, I did see a Mega Bloks Charmander Evolution set, but I already highlighted that a while ago, and I don't feel like doing it again. For now. Maybe later. I did notice the Transformers Legacy Evolution Leo Prime action figures are all gone. Maybe those final ones got a reduced price and got snapped up immediately. I'm glad I got one while I had the chance. I think we're done here, so onward to the next stop, Ross. Look at those nice, organized shelves. What a sight to behold. The employees at this Ross are on top of it. We got another Mirko anime figure of the Amazing Heroes variety, also for 13 bucks. In the back, we got another WWE Superstars Cactus Jack action figure, $10 in case you forgot the price. I love pro wrestling and would like some more pro wrestling action figures, but those are too expensive for me. It's odd to see multiple anime figures in the toy section at this Ross. They're usually placed in the checkout area, but here's a different Serena's Couture Rem. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like more effort goes into the Rem figures compared to the Ram figures. Maybe whoever's in charge of sculpting and painting the figures prefers Blue Twin over Pink Twin. Which twin do you prefer? Blue for me. Anyways, I'm good with this, so she'll go back. We got another anime figure here, but it's just a panel spectacle Hiruzen Sarutobi that no one seems to want at 20 bucks. That's a good amount of Batmobiles there. That's another thing I would have loved as a kid. The shelf above the Batmobiles was a bit messy. Rare footage of messy shelves at this Ross. We're moving on to the side shelves. The only thing I ever find here that appeals to me is Hello Kitty merch, and speaking of that, some Hello Kitty and Friends Sweets and Salty Series 1 figure 2 packs. At this point, I couldn't remember which ones from this set I was missing, and I forgot to take a photo of what I do have. I know I definitely have this 2-pack already, and the same goes for this one as well. There's only one more left to see. Ooh, nice. I know for sure I don't have that Putin and Cinna set. I can't recall if I have this 2-pack or not. Sure, I could return it if it ends up being a double, but I didn't really feel like taking the chance at this moment. For the time being, I'm getting this one. At least those didn't go up in price, so it's not a lost day yet. Onto the checkout area, and it looks like the best action TMNT action figure of Jenica has once again swarmed Ross. The crappy running Naruto figures by Culturefly are still here. Those need massive price reductions to move. 10 bucks seems kinda high for Epic Hero Series action figures, even if they blast water. I got the Star Wars counterparts for only 3 bucks. We got ReZero, Avengers Funko Pop figures, Godzilla, and here's a Star Wars Black Series action figure of Jude Law from the Skeleton Crew. Believe it or not, these are selling quite well at Ross for the most part. I didn't think the Skeleton Crew action figures of the kids would sell well, but both KB and Wim are long gone from Ross. We got ourselves a very odd looking Zenitsu Agatsuma potato figure for 8 bucks. Is he supposed to be dressed like a geisha or something? It's time to wrap up here and head over to the next Ross. There were some Dragon Ball Super action figures to check, mainly the Limit Breaker Brolys, but it slipped my mind. That's a whole lot of Hello Kitty and Friends Sweet and Salty figure 2 packs. Why do I keep forgetting to take note of what I have? I could have had the whole set already if I wasn't so forgetful. I honestly don't know what I'm missing, and I don't want to buy doubles. Returning stuff really isn't a hassle since I'm at the stores every Saturday anyways, but the less trips I make to the register, the better. This was such a wasted opportunity to complete the set, but I guess it wasn't meant to be. For the time being. Maybe I should move along for— No, don't keep looking at them. Come on, stop making this so hard on yourself. Let's get a move on. Like, yesterday. Hey, are you listening? I guess not. Okay, that seemed to work. Moving on to the rest of the toy section. Those Clear Eyes Great Saiyaman Super Saiyan Gohan anime figures are still here and will likely continue to remain here. Did I say that last time? Probably. Maybe my eyes are deceiving me, but I feel like I'm seeing a lot of Hot Wheels stuff. Damn, that's a rather long and quite large snake toy. Has anyone ever bought these Zero Robo Alive toys? Or bought anything from Zero in general? Sound off in the comments, I'd love to know. There's a whole lot of nothing burgers over here. Oh, there's another Limit Breaker Broly, which I promptly ignored. Lots of remote control cars like usual. I guess someone changed their mind on those RGB lights. Nothing hiding in the back. Here's a Grandista Goku anime figure that's quite large and heavy. Onto the end cap, and it's a lot of the same stuff, but here's what I was looking for. Sadly, this one's got the dick sucker price. I said this in my first PSA video about these price increases, but I was hoping what I saw at the first Ross was an isolated mistake at a single store, but seeing this at another store proved that idea to be wrong. I knew these items were old stock because I saw them during previous outings, so tariffs being the cause of this was definitely not the case. I didn't notice this at the time, but the dick sucker price tags were placed on top of other price tags, ones which most definitely had the original price. I could understand Ross updating prices on new stuff being put out, but to increase prices on stuff already on the sales floor? Shady AF. Naturally, this led to a lot of disappointment, and I felt like calling off the rest of the outing to inform my viewers about the alarming news, but after taking a few minutes to process and recover, I decided to continue with the toy bargain hunting outing like usual. So how did you learn about all these price increases? Was it through me, or did you see it firsthand? I think I saw a few other toy hunter YouTubers cover it, but it wasn't a focal point like how I covered it. Alright, I decided to get some outside help to figure out what I was missing from these sets. I was only missing the 3 2-packs I pointed at, and all 3 of them happened to be at this location. However, in the short amount of time I was away from these 2-packs, someone managed to nab one of the sets I was missing, the Hello Kitty with the pie slice, and Kuromi with the pizza slice. I tried looking for it, and I could not find it. That's what I get for not staying on top of it. I got yoinked from right under my nose. Oh well, it is what it is. I got something at least. I totally forgot about filming this Ross's checkout area, so we're moving on to the next stop, Dee Dee's Discounts. Yikes, there's that creepy baby Bella doll again. That's the stuff of nightmares, yo. And I also see an Elmo staring right into my soul. Great stuff. Nothing but kids' toys over there. Panning back to the right, I see a rather large set of Lilo and Stitch minifigures. I've seen this at Dee Dee's before, and most certainly Ross as well, but I don't remember how long ago it was. Let's keep going, shall we? There's a nice mix of things here, Super Mario, Spider-Man, Funko Pop figures, and we swing to the end cap to find nothing. I'm looking at the wrong one. This is the end cap I was looking for, and we got more authentic Transformers. Here's the ever so popular good boy Bumblebee for a nice 600 pennies, and behind him we got the leader, Optimus Prime. I passed up on this every time I've seen it, and maybe when I finally get around to opening the Authentics Bumblebee I bought months ago, I'll decide if I want to get Optimus Prime. This 2.5-inch Daisy action figure looks rather beat up. I wonder if it's old stock that was left behind, or if it got kicked under a shelf and was only discovered after someone fished it out after sweeping under those areas. We got the same Toad and Propeller Shy guys here. I was glad to see those didn't get hit with the price increases like the counterpart Sonic the Hedgehog action figures by Jakks Pacific, back to the shelf, and a whole bunch of remote control cars. Has anyone ever bought a remote control car from a discount store? If so, are they any good? And by good, I mean are they fast? That's all I care about. I bought some RC Sanrio vehicles from Five Below, and they are so damn slow. I do get their novelty items and aren't meant to be speed demons, so to say. Don't mind me, I'm just peeling back the front layers to see if anything worthwhile is hiding in the back. It's always a lot easier to do at Dee Dee's Discounts compared to Ross because not only is there less stuff, it's far more organized. There's a checkout area to see as well, so what do we got here? It's looking rather similar to how it did during the previous outing. I remember seeing those Funko Pop figures from before. This Age of Heroes headphone jack anime figure was here last time, and she's still 10 bucks. No increases there. Great. Amazing Heroes Mirko is at Dee Dee's Discounts in addition to Ross. There hasn't been much crossover with merch between Ross and Dee Dee's Discounts lately, and I like it that way. I prefer variation. These Grandista Jolene Cujo figures have been at this Dee Dee's Discounts for a few weeks now, which is a surprise. Whoops, let me pick that up real quick. There we go. Moving on, we have more of the same anime figures. Down here we have a Stitch and Angel minifigure 2-pack, that's the same as the one we just saw. And to the right, we have some Jujutsu Kaisen Hikage figures of Kento Nanami. 8 clams seems to be the norm for these. DD's Discounts also had more Hello Kitty and Friends minifigure 2-packs. I feel so dumb because my distracted ass didn't notice the 2-pack to the very left was the last one I needed. Oh well, like I said before, I guess it wasn't meant to be. On to the next stop, Ross. I normally don't walk down this aisle first, but my usual path was crowded with other customers, and you know I prefer not to get other people in my shots if it's avoidable. There's quite a few anime figures on the side shelf, and it's usually not the case. Nothing new for me, though they might be new for some of you. Not the Anime Heroes Renji Abarai action figure though, that's definitely not new. Uh-oh, I'm finally gonna check the price on this sucker. 28 clams, what a bunch of bullshit. When I first saw this, I believe Ross was charging $17, and recently I saw it bumped up to $18. Now it's got that rip-off price. I checked the Google to see what retail stores were selling this for, and while they're no longer at Target or Walmart, Bandai had its MSRP listed at 17 bucks. Another example of Ross charging higher than retail. Lovely. Oh no, I already know what's gonna happen here. Increased to $25. Ross had this price for 13 bucks before. A 12 clam increase is effectively doubling the price. Oh my god, another one. Don't you just love how the comparable value section was empty? I was thinking someone made a clerical error by typing the comparable value into the Ross price, but at the same time, it seems like Ross was trying to hide something by having it blank. If you think that's crazy, there's still more to see. I saw the matching Vegeta figure perched on the top shelf, and due to where it was, I had a sneaking suspicion that it would have the original price tag showing, and I was right. The Ross employee with the unfortunate task of applying the sucker price tags missed this Vegeta figure because it was out of the way. I'm just gonna line up Vegeta and Kakarot to let you soak in the ridiculousness that I witnessed that day. Alright, enough of that. There's still more bullshit to see, so look forward to it. I put Vegeta back in the same place I found him in the hopes that he won't get hit with the price increase. How about another look for good measure? Lame, isn't it? I really don't understand what Ross is thinking. Oh no. These things are everywhere. Not only has the stuff been sitting around, but I feel like they've been multiplying, and it all just keeps piling in one after the other. By this time, the price is a foregone conclusion. It was also at this point that I finally realized there was a price tag under the increased ones. I knew the hidden tag had the original price, so I decided to peel back the top one just enough to see the former tag. And check it out, the old prices were crossed out. Simply doing that was not a good maneuver. After seeing this, I became even more inclined to believe the higher ups at Ross were trying to pull a fast one on their customers. Why weren't the employees told off to rip off the old labels? It's not difficult. Did they really think people wouldn't notice 2 labels and try to peel off the top label? Sometimes I wonder if the Ross C-Suiters think their customer base is stupid, or at the very least, uninformed. That ain't it. People who look for deals know their shit. They know what things cost at retail, and they certainly know what's reasonable for a discount store to charge. I noticed these increases immediately, and I know many of my fellow bargain hunting collectors did as well. The higher priced items had smaller increases percentage wise, but still stung a lot more than the others. This deluxe Bowser's Airship playset went from 25 bucks to $47. That's nearly double as well. I was hoping to get this for a price reduced from 250 dimes, but I guess that ain't happening. We're 18 minutes into this toy bargain hunting outing, and despite the crap that's going on in this video, I hope you're all having a great time. Please remember, I am still 2 weeks behind on editing and uploading my outings to YouTube, so things may have changed in the meantime, and if you've seen my most recent video before this one, you'll know what I'm talking about. If not, I'll link the video at the end. Oh, and if you are enjoying the content, make sure to slap me with a like, and if you feel like I earned it, maybe a sub as well. Thank you for sticking around, and let's move on to the next stop, another Ross. This location also has higher than retail prices, but check this out. Here's a Dragon Stars Vegeta action figure with the original price tag intact, and next to that we have a Final Blast Super Saiyan Vegeta figure also with the original price tag intact. What, does Ross think Vegeta is not worthy of the price jumps? Good, he gets disrespected enough anyways. There wasn't much to see at this Ross, but I did find Simpsons Itchy and Scratchy 2.5-inch action figures by Jakks Pacific. I said I would buy the two if I saw them at Ross, but unfortunately, $5 is the same as what Target charges. I would rather wait for a price drop at either store because I don't feel like paying retail prices at a discount store. Anyways, we're now at another DD's Discounts, and just with one look, I'm seeing nothing but toy cars and RC cars. Lately, there hasn't been anything on the interesting side on the shelves of this location. Geez, that's a lot of cars. Is there anything else here? Oh, well, at least this didn't get a price jump, but then again, no price jumps happened at DD's Discounts despite being owned by Ross. Same with this 2.5-inch Sonic action figure, still the usual DD's price of $4. This end cap is stocked up, but it's all familiar product. We saw all these authentic Transformers earlier, but I wanted to take a look at this Optimus Prime and place it next to something quite interesting. An off-brand AliExpress version of Optimus Prime. So who would you go with? Temu Prime for Force Smackers? Or the authentic, yeah, Optimus Prime for 6 clams? The answer is quite obvious. And just in case you're still not sure, it's the authentic Optimus Prime. Something on the very top shelf caught my eye. A deluxe Bowser's Airship playset. The same one Ross bumped up to $47. Oops, just give me a few seconds here. I only got one free hand to work with. Look at that. Further evidence of DD's Discounts not engaging in price increases. This thing is still the original $25 that Ross used to charge. DD's Discounts also didn't up the price on the Super Mario diorama sets as they were still $13. I said I was hoping for a price drop on this, but at this point, I thought price increases would soon follow at DD's Discounts, so I decided to pull the trigger. Let's see if there's anything neat in the checkout area this time. I kinda like these Funko Pop trains. I know I at least have two, a Disney Villain's Maleficent, and I forget the other one. And these two sections look exactly like they did last time. Here's something new, a soft Fanmates figure of Iggy from JJBA. This is so not cute, but I don't think JJBA characters are meant to be cute. If Stonefree and Jolene are struggling to sell at discount stores, I don't think Iggy will do any better. That's it for this DD's Discounts, and it's time for another DD's Discounts. Ross is usually next, but I skipped it because it was frankly a waste of time that I didn't feel like covering. This end cap that usually has collectibles on it mostly had outdoor paraphernalia on it this time. Shades of Burlington there. Nothing special going on with that Cat Mario action figure, and the same can be said for this Ball Hog action figure. Let's put that back and head over to the shelves. Our first new find in this area is a Star Wars Black Series action figure of Jyn Erso from Rogue One. This obviously would go perfectly with the Black Series and/or action figures that are present at Ross. And of course, we have the endless amounts of toy cars and RC cars at DD's Discounts. Is there anything else to see here? Well, I wasn't exactly thinking of off-brand Transformers, though these actually don't look that bad. Oh, there is a legit Transformer here, and it's one of those odd-looking ones that don't transform from Age of Extinction. How do you all feel about Transformers action figures that don't transform? Now we're just peeling back the front layers to see if anything is hidden in the back. Like I said before, this is a much easier task at DD's Discounts. Dark guns, outdoor stuff, more off-brand Transformers, but I think there's something good under that Temu Prime. Damn, that's awful. Anyways, we got an action figure of Aloy as she appears in Horizon Forbidden West. I first and last saw this at Ross at least a month and a half ago, and now she's at DD's Discounts for the same price. If you missed out on Aloy at Ross, hopefully you could find her at DD's Discounts. You know, despite the bullshit that I saw at the various Raw stores today, I'm still finding good stuff. I'm glad I didn't rage quit this toy bargain hunting outing after seeing the dick sucker prices on the Sonic the Hedgehog, Super Mario, and Dragon Ball Super merch. Sometimes you just gotta exercise patience and see things out. Also, let's pretend I didn't skip a Ross because I felt it was a waste of time to cover. That's not an act of patience, but remember, we forgot about it. It's the last stop of the day, yet another DD's Discounts. I'm seeing a lot of the same stuff I saw last time, so this outing's visit to this store may be a bust. I think I may have spoken a bit too soon. Here's a Marvel Legends Strange Tales Damon Hellstrom. This is a build-a-figure that comes with parts to assemble Blackheart, and that's definitely one of his legs. What are the other action figures needed to assemble Blackheart? There's some good ones there. I'm really interested in finding Moon Knight and Lilith, but this will do for now. Anything else to see here? Well, there's the Fire Mario, which is pretty old news for DD's Discounts, though they adopted the $7 price point that Ross typically charges for these action figures. At least it's not 15 clams. It's been a while since I last saw a non-Disney Kuposket figure at a discount store, and once again we got the Amazing Heroes Mirko. The Super Mario diorama sets are still $13 over here as well. A few days after this was shot, the Super Mario diorama sets got hit with the insane price jumps at Ross, and we'll likely see examples of that during the next outing. I think it's a good time to wrap up, so let's move on to the haul. I'll admit, that deluxe Bowser's Airship playset was a total panic buy, but everything else was stuff that caught my eye and wasn't influenced by other factors. And that does it for another toy bargain hunting outing. If you made it this far, type L Ross in the comments. Thank you for joining me, and it's always great to have you. In my previous long form upload, I talked about how one of my Ross stores already began dialing back the price increases. For more info on that, check out the video on the left, and if you have more time on your hands, please check out my other videos. I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you later.